Now, the original reasons of the Europeans looking for the sea route to the east were genuine reasons. Because the Turkish now block the Europeans. They were trying to force Europeans to become Muslims. They even invaded the Balkans in 1688. The Turkish siege Vienna. Vienna was saved by a Polish king called Sobieski. Now, the Europeans were right to try and see how to outflank the blockade of the Turkish. But the problem they made was that when they came to Africa and to Asia, they didn't come for trade, they didn't come for equitable interaction, they came for colonization. This is where the whole nonsense starts. We could focus on the Roman Empire, which was there by the time of Jesus. Then the Roman Empire collapses in 450 AD, and Europe goes into the Dark Ages, and then you get the Renaissance. Then you have a new phase now, which is what we are dealing with now. And I would really like leaders to wake up and stop wasting our time. When the Roman Empire broke up, the eastern portion of it remained functioning, the Eastern Roman Empire. Now, in the year 1453, their headquarters, Constantinople, is captured by the Ottoman Turks. These Turkish, these ones of Erdogan. That area called Turkey, if you go in the Bible, in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, that is where St. Paul was spending much of his time. Those cities there, Ephesus, Galatia, what have you, they are all there in what is now Turkey. But now in 1453, the Ottoman Turks capture it. They overthrow the ancient Christian group there, and they take it over. And because of narrow thinking again, they block Europe from going to the east. Because you remember there was a man called Marco Polo. A man called Marco Polo some centuries before had established a land route from Europe to China to India. And that land route was bringing spices, bringing silk and so on. That's why you hear the Chinese leader talking of the Silk Road. Now, when the Turks capture Constantinople, they block that land route. So the Europeans are cut off from the east. And that's how they start looking for a sea route to the east, led by the Portuguese. And I think in 1472, they get to where Sierra Leone is now. Then 1482, they get to where Angola is, a man called Diego Cama, a Portuguese. Then, now, another effort by Spain sees Christopher Columbus going west, but trying to go to the east. That's how, in 1494, he gets to America, to the Caribbean. Then, in 1498, Vasco da Gama goes around South Africa and lands at Natal on Christmas Day. That's why Natal is called Natal. Now, from there, Vasco da Gama goes to India, and Europe starts now coming to Africa and to Asia. Now, the original reasons of the Europeans looking for the sea route to the east were genuine reasons. Because the Turkish were also, because the biggest problem of the human groups is chauvinism, arrogance, group arrogance. This is the biggest problem. Because the Turkish now block the Europeans. And they actually caused a lot of problems because they were trying to force Europeans to become Muslims. They even invaded Greece, Bulgaria, those areas where the Balkans were invaded by the Turks. In 1688, the Turkish siege Vienna. They wanted to capture Vienna, the capital of Austria, and Vienna was saved by a Polish king called Sobieski in 1688. So that arrogance of groups. Now the Europeans were right to try and see how to outflank the blockade of the Turkish. But the problem they made was that when they came to Africa and to Asia, they didn't come for trade, they didn't come for equitable interaction, they came for colonization. This is where the whole nonsense starts. So they start by taking slaves to the new, what they were calling the New World, and in the end, they establish colonies here. Therefore, to cut a long story short, by 1900, the whole of Africa is colonized except for Ethiopia. But the African people, they are tough people. They don't die easily. Africans are very tough. That's how they could manage the slave conditions in the New World and survive. They're still there. You can see them there. They survived. So those who went to the New World survived. We who stayed here survived. In spite of the slave trade, in spite of colonialism. But also, you Africans, you need to know that Africa was colonized because of internal weaknesses. Don't only blame the outsiders. Because the Europeans, you remember, they tried to colonize China, but they couldn't. China was still disorganized, feudal, but they ended up only capturing Hong Kong and Macau, and that was all. They were not able to conquer the whole of China. Even Japan, they couldn't conquer Japan. So Africa was conquered because of internal weaknesses. We could have defeated the Europeans. We could have defeated them. But our chiefs were just putting on monkey skins, running around, half naked. It was internal weaknesses.
You have it, guys. Our African leaders are really trying their best to manage Africa's challenges as much as they are. And when we show these speeches here on this channel, we actually encourage to share our thoughts in the comments. And so whatever it is you guys think about these speeches, please do share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like and subscribe, because that's the way you support Kwazemy as a channel, an Afrocentric channel, where we try to understand deeper issues in African history and hopefully develop a collective intelligence on how we wish to build the Africa we want to see as people of Africa. See you in the next one.